you guys last week. Here comes Damon. He's joining us.
Hello.
Hi, cutie pie.
Hi, how are you?
Okay,
Hi.
so I missed my lunchmates last week because Rude we didn't have an elimination lunch, which was such a fantastic show. And we can quickly talk about last week because I think it should be talked about because a lot happened. Um,
Hmm.
I do want to say, and by the way, Ivy is joining us today. She will be here in just a little bit. Um, I do want to say quickly, I got a lot of tweets and a lot of questions last week about Roxy and people literally thinking that she just, disclosed that information about being left at the bus stop as like a saving grace, like turning on the waterworks just to be saved. Guys, that's really mean. I think it everything hit her at once on stage and it all came out because she stood there crying for a while before Rue was like, "What's going on?" And she was like, "No, no, I'm good." And Rue's the one who kind of brought it out of her to help her talk about it. She did not turn it on to be saved. And trust me, even if you don't want to hear it and you still think that that's the case, Rue would never, ever fall for that shit. Rue is so
No.
savvy and so on top of it that if Rue felt that, that would probably piss Rue off. He's not one to deal with that. So
No, Rue will not put up with no bullshit.
right. So that it didn't happen because of that. But
Well,
that was
and
pretty
the other,
heavy stuff.
yeah, and the other thing too is people don't realize is that it had already been talked about in Untucked, so it had come up from the other queens, so it wasn't like something that she just brought up randomly there on the spot. It had already been brought up during the day. Um, so, I think it was really brave of her to bring something so private up on national television.
Yeah, and
I would
like,
imagine.
go ahead, Damon.
No, I was just gonna say, I would imagine too that I mean, all these emotions are flying around, and you're probably exhausted. You're farther in the competition, and all the stress you're under. I mean, emotions are sort of flying all over the place. So it seems sort of natural that it would go deeper and bring it out.
Yeah, and Mimi can attest to this, but when you're on that stage and you're working, you're at this point in the competition, you're beat down and beat up and exhausted, and emotions are completely just frazzled, and the littlest thing can just set you off. And I don't know, I just broke down in tears because
It's
I felt for her.
it's very emotional being on Drag Race. Period. It's testing you in that way and in a lot of other ways. And a, it can get really really overly emotional very quickly. Something can remind you of something that you never would expect to. So I get it and I feel for it.
Yeah,
Mimi, I have a
yeah, it was.
question.
Go
And
ahead.
I don't know if you guys can say this, but what is the downtime between each competition? Is it just day after day? Do you guys ever have a day off or?
Um, it's done a lot back to back, so it's very stressful. It's a lot. These days are long, long days. I mean, you can sometimes be in drag for, you know, 12, 14 hours,
And then you have to go
so and
right
the
back
runway
into
days
it
are
the
the
next
longest
day.
days.
Damon, they're pretty back to back. They don't get days off, but there are some days that are lighter than others. And I just want to say, producers, people are saying that Damon's having an echo and things are going on. So if somebody can see to that while we're talking and take care of Damon's issue, we'll get on top of that for you guys. Thank you for letting us know. Um,
Oops, sorry.
but the things are back to back, and that's why they get so frazzled because there isn't like a spa day in between. Like, and
Lord, I
even the
wish there
days,
was.
and I've said this before, the elimination days, which is the most stress for these kids, I'm going to go out and say they're about 14-hour days because I get there super early, and I'm just assuming I get there just after Rue does because we like to kind of take our time. And believe it or not, it takes me almost as long as Rue to get ready. So we like to take our time. But the day ends up being anywhere from 12 to 14 hours, and that's not an exaggeration. So
Wow.
it's it's pretty
And it's
tough.
stressful. It's stressful. there's cameras in your face,
Yeah.
it's a lot is on the line,
Yeah, but I
and
don't feel bad for that part. I got to be honest. You signed up for this. You knew what it was. So
no,
what?
you
There's
can't.
cameras in your
No, you
face.
can't feel. No, you can't feel bad about it at all. But it's part of the gig, and the stress and all of that. It makes for great TV. So enjoy.
Exactly, exactly, and that's kind of how it goes. All right, so we're working on Damon stuff. Somebody just said, I think it was Cam. Cam said, "Did I take some of Coco's backdrop home with me?" No, honey. Coco and I are around the same age, but I was born in New Jersey, and when you're born in Jersey, you're born into leopard print. Okay, everything
It's a
I own.
Leopard.
leopard.
Yeah, but I know how to break it up with like black in between. It wasn't leopard, a
Girl,
leopard, a leopard, a leopard.
that was a lot of leopard.
She's like a
Uh,
chameleon back then.
yeah, and then when she first came out, and Aubrey and I were sitting there, and I was like, look, everything, my poop is leopard. Like, I live for leopard. And then I was like, you might want to, I don't know, take one of those leopards out, So it's I understand what she was going for, but you know, it was
It was a
it was,
lot.
oof, yeah, it was a lot. It was really funny. Um,
Um,
well, since we're talking about it, we could talk about those challenges last night. Let me look at my notes. Um, we can talk about those challenges last night, the perfumes, and how you felt about them. But a lot of people are asking here on the chat about why everybody was so mean to Jinx last night. We'll talk about that in a minute. I promise to get to that. But let's talk about the commercials for a minute. And Aubrey. Aubrey was
with her
interesting.
eyes.
Yeah. It's funny that she commented and that she said that the note with the eyes. Now, see, I love Alyssa, and I'm talking as a queen. I love the way she does that eye thing because to me, she looks like a young Joan Collins. Like,
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know, she's so
I see
gorgeous.
that.
But I was laughing really hard when Aubrey's like, I get notes on that too, and then they have like all those pictures of her going.
Well,
That
Aubrey's
made
eyes
me
are
laugh.
just gorgeous and so beautiful.
AMC says Aubrey doesn't have the credentials to judge drag queens. I
Aubrey is a drag
disagree.
queen.
Exactly. Aubrey is a drag queen. I disagree. People say that about me too. And sometimes it doesn't matter. I mean, I have a past to go with it, okay? Not just a history with Rue. I grew up in the system in New York City. Aubrey may not have, but she's around gays a lot. She is a
Well,
drag queen. Look at her.
Did you not watch the
Um,
reality show?
yeah, she's a
It's
drag
her
queen. She
take on it.
totally is.
she's
So,
I'm gonna say this.
and
I'm
she
gonna
has
spook
passion.
her, but she's out at drag shows all the time in New York City. I mean, uh, you know, she's a sweetheart, and she keeps it real, and I
I
think
do.
sometimes,
But to see, Santana just asked me if I thought she was a good judge. I think she was a good judge. I think she was a bit, and I hate to use this word, she was a bit mean. Like some people don't realize that there is a tact that you need to have when talking to these girls that are working so hard. But I think she's so used to hanging out and be like, bitch, that looks all, she's on a different kind of level with the
yeah.
queens, I think.
If Michelle Visage is giving lessons in how to critique with tact, we are in a new world and a
Thank
new
you.
place.
Stop it. I do use tact. I use honesty. I'm
No, I
not
know you
mean.
do. I know you do. No, I know you do.
There's a difference between bitchy and mean and uh,
There is
honest
a
to help.
difference.
And I think Aubrey was really passionate and a little bit mean, but I don't think that that was her fault. I just think she felt comfortable enough to do that. And I thought she was a really good judge. Let me tell you why. She really got into it. Some of the judges
Yeah.
Yeah,
love the
she definitely
show, but
was
they get like,
opinionated.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she
it. And
she felt like she could duke it out with them.
Kristen
Oh no, yeah.
Johnston was the same way. Kevin says,
There's
why don't
I
I
love I
ever
love
find a
Kristen
compliment
Johnston.
for detox? Kevin, are you kidding me? Why don't I ever find a compliment for detox? Detox is one of my favorites. Um, she is phenomenally talented. Just because you don't see me complimenting her, that doesn't mean that I haven't complimented her. And that goes for Santino and everybody else. They can't show it all. But I can tell you that I have complimented her, and I love and respect Detox to bits. So trust me.
If they showed the full critiques of all the judges, that's a 6 hour show right there.
You have
It'd be
There's
no
longer.
definitely a
idea.
It'd
there's
be.
definitely a storyline that they pick that they go with. You know that you can usually see in the
Mhm.
beginning that there's a certain person that they highlight for each episode, and
Yeah, I have
and then it
to.
sort of goes from there.
You have to. Look, the
There's seven
deliberations.
people.
Yeah, the deliberations alone could go on for 2 hours when they're untucking. I mean, it goes on all day, and I am not in on the editing. This is not my show. I have nothing to do with this. So,
But
you know,
if it were Michelle Visage, how would it go?
there'd be more of me.
It would just be all you in every competition.
No, I mean seriously, that was a joke, by the way. It's difficult because you want to bring out the best and the worst in everybody. You have to see both sides
Hmm.
to make a person likable. Because if you see all one side, like if the person was nice, nice, nice all the time, that's why when people say that I'm a bitch, if I was nice, nice, nice all the time, you'd call me Paul Abdul and you'd make fun of me and you'd not have me and you'd get over me.
It
Um,
can't be one note.
it's
And I think there's
boring.
something that's more interesting when someone who usually gives tougher critiques actually actually says something really nice or is really behind somebody. It stands out more than just always being nice and being
Yeah.
somewhat vanilla.
Um, Jose Gallego said, "Can we talk about why Coco Montrese feels the judging is unfair?" And Untucked, she kept saying that the judging wasn't equal for everyone because she wasn't happy with how she was judged, and that's the
Coco
bottom
is
Yeah.
line.
Coco is very, very defensive, and I
Yeah,
think that she's
yeah.
unbelievably talented and amazing, but she's very defensive. You say one word, and this wall goes up, and she sort of goes crazy, and or she'll say comments and then not stand behind them, and I don't think that's fair. If you're gonna say something bitchy, then stand behind it.
Coco has been praised. I just think that, Jinx is getting praised right now because I've been pounding into her head that she's not doing it. She's not doing it. She's not doing it. Finally, she does it, so she's getting praised, and they're all attacking her for it. I am sorry. She looked so beautiful last night. People were like, ew, you like that look? Hashtag grandma's badge. Loved the look. Get over it. She did Mary Lou Henner in Johnny Dangerously last night better than Mary Lou Henner did Mary Lou Henner in Johnny Dangerously. She turned it out. She looked gorgeous. It was a specific look. And there are times that I'm with Jinx and I'm getting pissed off that
Yeah.
she's having to defend herself and her type of drag. If that's what she wants to do, let her do. Now, don't get it confused with what I was telling her with bringing the glamour. That's glamour in that era. What she was doing before was a mess. It was not glamour. She got help
No.
from the girls she got smart and said, "Can somebody help me and let me know what I'm doing wrong?" And whoever helped her, she looks amazing. Did you guys not see how gorgeous she looked last night?
There's the last 2 episodes. There's been a light switch. It's like something clicked with the look, and there's a magic to being in that room and on that runway that will transform your drag in ways that that it's like time gets sped up, and all of a
Yes.
sudden it just works. And I just, she looks so gorgeous. The last two
Gorgeous.
episodes have been out of
It's
control, and Coco was jealous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
and
was a
it's
lot of
interesting
jealousy
that
going on.
they always sort of it seems like Jinx turns into the punching bag a lot of the time.
She does because
She's
she's
super
sweet.
sweet. Yeah,
And
and it's interesting. It's like preying on the weak, you know what I mean? And not that she's weak, but because she's
oh,
sweet, people
yeah,
think that
she's
they can
not
go
weak,
at
but
her
she's
that they can go at her without her, if you're gonna go after Detox, you're gonna get put in your place pretty fast.
no,
And I think
Amanda,
Yeah.
we are
Jinx is
not
sweet.
infatuated with Jinx. Let me tell you something. It took me a while to come around to get Jinx going, get her moving. There's no infatuation. Jinx is extremely talented. It just sounds like you're having an issue with the fact that she's getting attention right now. Detox, amazing. Alaska was so freaking funny last night. It wasn't even funny. And I love, even though I wasn't a fan of that look that she did last night, it was basic. It was really basic, and I was not having it. But it was different. And I challenged her to do something different, and she did something different last night. So
There's
that
something
was
very Lady Gaga-esque about Alaska, I find.
No,
Maybe it's the way she talks, but I mean, obviously some of the looks and stuff, but I think there's something interesting
I
in
love the
her
way Alaska
personality.
talks as a boy.
Yeah.
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 Um, I had a
Everything's
question up,
very
but I had it up too
bold.
long. I think it was Medina, um, saying that this was supposed to be the season of the fish. There is no season of the fish. It is what it is. There's no titled season. And first of all, fishy is so offensive to women. Just gonna say that. My vagina does not smell like fish. So therefore, fishy, gross. But I will say that Jinx was definitely very feminine last night. It might not be your idea of feminine and real and beautiful, but in 1920, the Great Gatsby or whatever, that was very feminine and very beautiful and soft and gorgeous. So
And
Just
there you
a
go.
I'll
bit of his.
dare. I mean, like I'll probably get some hate for this, but whatever. I'm used to that. But I think, girl, at this point, I don't give. I got nothing to lose.
Right, right,
Um,
right.
I have to say this. I think Jinx looked better than Coco. Like, you know,
Coco's
Coco's look
sharpening her
was
knives at home right now.
no. When Coco, oh please, Coco said far worse to me, but way before either one of us were ever on Drag Race, so that's fine. But she had, I was like, Coco, you're no one's gonna rob your house. You don't have to wear all your jewelry out.
Yeah.
Take something home. She just like it was like she was jealous. It was jealousy. And
Just keep
what's your
talking.
mom? Oh, it was just jealousy. And sometimes that brings out the worst in people.
And it
Yeah,
doesn't look good
well,
on camera. I mean, it looks like
doesn't.
jealousy. I mean, there's no disguising it. It's plain jealousy. Everybody can see it for what it is. And then, to sort of backtrack and be like, no, I didn't mean it as an insult. It's like there was nothing positive about what she said. When
Yeah.
you say you come up there looking like this or whatever.
That was,
There's
and
a there's
I was glad that Detox called her out on that and said, "Look,
Yeah.
that was bitchy, girl," and it wasn't nice because Coco's a Vegas queen. Coco's very specific. Coco does, things and this thing. Jinx is her own queen. Detox is her own queen. Alaska is her own queen. The House of Haunt thing. Everybody's so different. You can't just focus on well, that's not glam. But that is. It's not your style, your type. Look, everybody knows that I love over the top glamazons. It's obvious. But that doesn't mean that I can't respect what somebody else's idea of glam is. But if you're going to do it right. And she hadn't done it right until like last week when it started. And I'm talking about
Yeah, all
Jinx.
the prior weeks, I mean, when people are saying that you're just praising Jinx, the last couple of weeks, Jinx was upset
I
because
got
the
in trouble for
compliments were
not
all about,
praising her.
yeah, for
Yeah.
not being nice. I mean,
people
so
are
it's
not
like
going to be happy either way.
you can't win, you know?
No, no, and it's true.
No.
And guys, they're different, and because they're different, you got to judge them differently aesthetically. So it's not easy. It's really not easy. It looks like it is, and everybody says, well, if I judged it, it's so not easy, you guys.
and
So
and historically there's always been from certainly that school of pageantry drag, sort of looking down upon of the camp queens, and I'm so glad that somebody who is a campy, kooky, theater queen is getting their due. There's been so many of them that have been misunderstood on Drag Race, and I'm glad that Jinx is succeeding.
yes, I agree. Coco said, did the perfume smell as bad as in person as I thought? They actually didn't smell terrible. I can't remember which one smelled good, but I remember one of them I was like putting on me. They were not as terrible as you thought they'd be, and nobody smelled like anybody's grandma's vagina. I can promise you that. They um they were interesting, but that's the thing about perfumes for real. Like we all like different scents. Some perfumes will send us into a tizzy, and some, like I like spicy perfumes. I wore Cher's Uninhibited for like 10 years. Even when I couldn't find it, I would like black market that shit to try to find it. So I like spicy. Um, it's really hard with scents.
It's like that
But
Fahrenheit cologne that was big in the 90s.
yeah, exactly.
Um, What I wanted to, do you remember how Ivy smelled? Because I remember she was saying that she was really into perfumes and that she eventually wanted to come out with her own or something like that.
She was saying that. We're going to talk to her. Let's talk to I'm trying to get some more questions on before to go to our people, and then Ivy's joining us.
Sure.
Um, Amanda said, "Why was Detox red for the fabulous red carpet dress last night, and Jinx got a free pass for the Walmart dress with the stuffed animal gluten?" I'm not going to comment about Jinx because I thought Jinx really did a great job. I loved Detox's dress last night. Everybody else
Oh, it's
didn't.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
everybody else
thought it was
didn't.
great.
I think it's because she does the nude and black thing a lot, so maybe people were like, but I thought it was so gorgeous. And I also, and y'all are going to
Face
read me to
mask.
Phil for this, Santino and I went on and on for probably about 15 minutes fighting over what Alyssa Edwards wore last night. Look, I know it was tacky. I get it. It was a tacky damask print, like sofa with shoulder pads out to here. Do you not see how fabulous that is? Do you not understand why that is so fabulous to me? I was living for it. Santino was like, that is the most ill-fitting, disgusting thing I've ever seen. I was living for it. Living. Sometimes you can't explain why. It's like I
It's
loved
of
it.
a
Maybe
period.
that's why you love Showgirls. It's like for all the wrong reasons. It was
Hmm.
80s magic. I just, I
It
don't
was
know.
your aunt's house.
Whatever it was, it worked for me. It worked for nobody else but me. It was very dynasty. It was just, oh, I loved it so much. So,
Yeah.
whatever.
No, it.
maybe, maybe I'm twisted. What can I say? Um, Cam said he thinks that the the roast should be the annual challenge and lose the snatch game. I have to agree, not the snatch game part because I enjoy it when it's good. But I absolutely love the roast. I think the roast needs to be a steady thing.
Uh-huh.
It is so, so good.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I just had so much fun with it. Okay, so producers, I think I want to bring Ivy on because we got a lot of people who want to talk to her. And let's get those questions in. Oh, let's bring on our Ivy
Hi.
Winters.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, guys. I'm Mimi, Michelle.
Hi,
Okay,
Ivy.
I'm not going to say it, but let's just do Ivy Winters one more time and tell everybody if they don't know. You know where it comes from, right, Ivy?
I was a little confused at first, but it's an homage to Latoya Jackson, correct?
Yes, yes. It's a Latoya Jackson
Okay.
homage because in one of her live videos, I think in Vegas, she says Edgar Winters, and she brings him out on stage, and
All right.
that's where it comes from. So it's,
I
when
know for the
groupthink came out.
longest time. Yeah.
Good.
I know for the longest time you kept saying that, and I'm like, all the girls were like, "Why does he say it that
That's why.
way?"
That's
But
why.
hey, yeah.
I do want to say, Ivy, my daughters watch the show. Well, my 11-year-old, my 13-year-old's too cool. But if it were Soul Eater or Salad Fingers, my 13-year-old would watch. But right now, I've got my 11-year-old. So you came out, and we're sitting there watching like the first or second episode, and my 13-year-old emo child walks in, and she's like, "What's Edward Cullen doing on Drag Race?" Like, totally thought you were Robert Pattinson.
All right, I'm a Twilight fan. I have been to
I
Forks.
love it.
Yeah,
No way! Have you
yeah,
really?
yeah, it was beautiful there. I've been there twice. When I
Oh
was a
my
flight
God.
attendant, I would get that all the time. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, can I get my picture taken with you? You look just like Edward Cullen." And I'm like, "I'll take it. He's beautiful." It's the
No,
hair.
totally compliment. He's totally hot. No, you're
Yeah.
beautiful too. Okay. So, who were you a flight attendant for? What airline?
I worked for Piedmont for about 5 years. US Air Express.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you went to like
Yeah.
like express stops, like back and forth?
Yeah. Yeah. We had like 4 to 8 flights a day, 15 to an hour length. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun, but
Did
I
you
enjoyed doing
ever
drag.
do it? Did you ever do it in drag?
No, no, I don't think they would have allowed that.
Well, if they didn't know, you never know. I would love to see you.
I,
There's nothing that I love more than going on a flight, and I automatically look for the queeniest flight attendant I could find to buddy up with. You know what I mean? So I would have been really,
yeah,
really
that
excited.
was me.
Aw, how long did you do that?
I did it for about 5 years. Yeah,
Wow.
that was.
Okay, so
It was
we
kind of like my
yeah,
transitioning. It was like my
transitioning into
transitioning
what?
from living in Michigan, from moving to Michigan to New York. So,
Okay, because
and
when you
everything
say
happens for a reason.
transitioning in this forum, it's a little different, sweetie.
I love
So, Ivy, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Um, has
Yeah,
anything blossomed with you and Jinx Monsoon?
we've continued to stay friends. On the show, I never knew that she had a crush on me. It was kind of a shocker watching the episode last night because I'm like, oh, oh, this is different. And I mean, I love Jinx to death. I don't. She's not really my type per se, but I mean, I love her to death, and we're still
What's your
friends.
type?
We still chit chat.
What's your type?
Um, I, I mean, I don't have a specific type, but
And are you single?
I don't know. I think we're too similar. I like someone a little bit different. I think Jinx and I are too similar as far as artistic goes. I dated a drag queen for 6.5 years, and that ended kind of bad. So I just I
But don't let that turn you off because that
no
relationship.
no
Okay. So
yeah
are you saying
yeah
that you like them a little more butched up?
Little
a little
bushier?
bit a little bit
Mm.
yeah
Okay.
yeah. And since the
That's
show,
legit.
I've started to date someone. So
A Chelsea queen instead of a drag queen?
more Hell's
Damon,
Kitchen.
Damon, we have people that want to know if you're
Either.
single, babe.
Am I single? I have a boyfriend. 4 years on Saturday, this past Saturday.
Oh my god.
Oh, congratulations. That's
Oh,
fantastic.
that's exciting.
Yeah, that is sweet. We got some cute people up on this panel today. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we want to talk to some of our people that are waiting. So let's see how we're doing this. I don't know. Can we put more faces on here than 4? Oh, we're gonna have to take, okay. They're gonna have to take either Mimi or Damon off. So you guys
You
figure
can
that
cut me
out.
if you need to.
But thank
Mimi, you
you
can stay
so
on if
very
you need
much
to.
for joining us. I it, okay, there goes Damon. Bye.
Bye.
So shady. Kiki Carmita, hi.
Yee.
Hi.
Kiki, do you have a microphone on your headphones or do you think you're just talking into your headphones? Because you need microphone headphones. But you have your headphones plugged in. Right. So there has to be the little a microphone on the headphones. I think you just have headphones with no microphone. Right. So no, I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Oh, you're so cute. Maybe you unplug the headphones, pull the headphones out, pull them out of the computer, and then talk. And no.
I love silent films.
I know. I'm trying to be like,
You're trying.
Charlie Chaplin here.
Maybe
And
maybe somebody could talk. We
he'll
could
figure that
just lip sync and somebody could talk for him.
out. They'll figure that out. They'll figure that out. We'll bring somebody else on. Just put them on, whoever we've got next. But that's what happens. The model of the drawing behind me
Ooh.
is one of my favorite artists. Her name's Olivia. It's just a naked woman, but Olivia's a great artist. Hi, Colette.
Hi.
Oh, you're giving very
Hi.
me hair today. How are you, love?
I was
I love
channeling
it.
you.
Totally, you were. How are you, baby?
I'm fabulous. How are you, darling?
Fabulous. What is your question?
Well, my question was already asked. Well, you kind of spilled the beans. I was going to ask Ivy if she had feelings for Jinx.
Hmm.
But I have a question for you, Michelle.
Okay.
Well, it's 2 questions. First question is, I'm auditioning for Drag Race this season. I'm working on my video this week. Do you have any advice? Ivy, Mimi, you guys can answer too. Do you guys have any advice for queens hoping to get on the show?
My advice is to be you. A lot of people think they have to try to be something to fit into what Rue wants or what they think Rue wants. I think if you stay true to who you are and the type of drag that you do best, that's how you are going to get noticed, by being the fiercest you that you could be. That's my suggestion. Ivy and Mimi, go ahead.
Yeah, I completely agree. Show as much of your own personality as possible
Yeah.
because that's what they're looking for.
I think definitely personality is the biggest part of it, and make sure that that part of whoever you are is very strong. You know, Milan from season 4. If you go to her Facebook page, she wrote
Who?
Milan
I'm
from
kidding.
season. Milan from season 4 wrote. I thought you were serious, girl. Milan from season
No.
4 wrote a great like multi-paragraph kind of her advice to girls who are auditioning, and it's totally on point. So I suggest checking that out.
Oh, that's great. Where, on her Facebook page?
Yeah, on Milan's Facebook page. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. So it's Milan or Dwayne Milan?
I'm not sure which one it was on, but
Dwayne Milan.
I think it was on. I think it was on.
I think it's.
I'm sorry,
think
but
it's on
Michael,
Dwayne-
after you
Dwayne
asked
Milan.
that question, Colette, Michael, one of our little people, our little friends here in the live chat, said, well, I'd say shave for starters.
I did a gig 2 days ago. I haven't been able to shave. I've got another gig tomorrow.
No,
I'm
it
trying to
just made
save
me
the
laugh.
face.
It was very funny. I love that. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
I
Okay,
did
well,
some hair
Colette,
lately.
just, oh, I love that hair. I'm going to borrow that hair when I meet you. It's fantastic.
It's
I
unbelievable.
also have another question for you,
beautiful.
Michelle.
Unbelievable.
Right. I have
Okay.
another question for you, Michelle. So towards the beginning of the season, we saw some commercials for Rue Done It. Did you ever figure out which queen jacked Sharon Needles' crown?
Yeah, well, apparently Fifi O'Hara, that slut, she did it in all her orange glory.
I
So
don't think
she's gonna
so.
go to drag jail. Who did it?
I don't know. You'll see in some audition videos.
Oh, really? Okay. We'll be looking
It wasn't
forward
me
to
though.
seeing
It
that.
wasn't me though.
Okay. Oh, they had all different versions, apparently, everybody's telling me. And if you go online, you can see them all get done it. But
I'll
apparently
give
my
you a
sleuthing
hint.
is not the best in town.
Here's a hint.
Oh, who's that?
Just a friend of a friend of a friend.
Aha, I love it. Fantastic. Thank you, Colette, and good luck. We'll be looking forward to seeing your tape, okay?
Bye, Ivy. Come back.
Bye, honey. Thank you. Break a leg.
Ivy's not coming back. But I love Ivy Winters, and I loved that that dress reveal. Was that uncomfortable? That looked really uncomfortable for you, that challenge.
It was well after I talked to Rue, and he's like, "It's not really you." The first idea that I came up with, I was like, "Oh shit!" All right, so let me change it. And then by that time, I had such minimal time to like get a new idea and concept. I mean, I would have had different hair. I was just like last minute, but the dress was it's a pretty comfortable dress. Yeah,
Oh, it's
it's a
gorgeous
comfortable
dress. It's
dress.
a gorgeous dress. And we're talking about the one in your dress code. And I think dress code is more fitting for you
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It was. It was.
just
Yeah.
Somebody just asked if you've gotten more work as a dressmaker since the show. I mean, people really don't know that you make costumes for pretty much every queen in the country, let alone New York. I mean, you're busy seamstress, yeah?
I've been very busy. Right now, I've taken a small little break of sewing just because I've been performing and touring a lot.
Mhm.
But as soon as that slows down, I'm gonna get back into it, get back into sewing for more
Ivy's been
people.
sewing for every queen in New York forever, and
Yeah,
she's one of
Ivy's
the best.
really no joke. Like no joke. Santino can't clock shit on Ivy's stuff.
No.
Ivy's amazing. So,
Oh, and I
if you
love
guys
Santino. Thank you.
Yeah, that's my baby. I know people have their mixed emotions about Santino and myself, and not everybody's gonna love everybody, but God, I love him so much.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys can bring somebody else on camera if when you're ready to. It's so much easier for me just to say it than type it. We've got Mads.
Right.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Matt.
Hello, can you hear me?
Good. How are you, Matt?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm very good. I'm so excited to be on the show. Hi.
Hi, we're excited to have you.
Hi from Paris. Thanks.
Paris,
Um,
Texas?
no, Paris, France.
You,
Yeah.
you sound so French. I got confused.
Yeah, no, I live in France, but I'm from Norway.
Oh, well, that too.
I just wanted to say hi to Ivy, fellow sewer. I'm going to Parsons Paris here in France. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Congratulations.
fashion sewer.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yay. Very exciting.
Yay. How did you get into that? I would love to make costumes for drag queens. How did you meet people? Did you meet them through doing drag yourself?
I started 8.5 years ago. I learned how to sew off of buying patterns from Walmart. I started off doing like pajama pants and whatnot. But once I started doing drag, all the girls in Michigan were like, "Oh my gosh, if you make clothes, we can make some one-of-a-kind pieces." And I just word of mouth through doing drag, I started getting booked for sewing for people. So I've been really blessed. And then once I moved to New York, it just kind of took off. Since I moved here. So yeah, it's like step by step. Long
You know
journey.
what, Mads? This is my suggestion because this is the day and age of social media. You reach out to queens that you love and respect, and you say, I would love to make something for you. You send it to them, you give it to them gratis. They wear it,
Yeah.
they say it's you. Designers are getting very smart about that. I get a lot of jewelry, I get a lot of pieces, makeup, whatever it is. People want their product out there.
Yeah.
And you make something for somebody, the word gets around, and then your business starts building. It's very true. So you have to give to receive. It's just like life. But social media makes it easier. So, Mads, you find some queens
I will
that you
definitely
really
do
love.
that.
Reach out to them and say, I want to make you something. Let me sketch you a few things. See if you like. Does not have to be expensive. It could even be as simple as a shrug, a corset. Doesn't have to be major. And then you send it to them as a gift. They'll wear it, take pictures of it, photograph themselves, and they'll tweet the hell out of it. And that's how the process can begin.
Especially with Instagram too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks.
Yeah, Instagram, Twitter,
Yeah.
any of that stuff. That's a great way to start. And you're lucky because growing up, we didn't even have cell phones, but we didn't. So you guys have the world at your hand right now, at your hands, you talented people. So utilize these things. If you're at Parsons in Paris, I mean, is it FIT or Parsons? Where are you? At Parsons in Paris?
Well, yeah, Parsons Paris. Well, it's changing names now to Paris College of Art, but yeah, Parsons Paris.
I mean, if you're good enough to get in there, then you definitely have got something going on. So, create that way and think kind of drag as your inspiration and you use it. You'll see it. And you'll get it done.
Thanks.
Congratulations to you for getting in there and just keep doing it, okay?
Yeah.
Bonjour. Bonjour. I have to do it with a Norwegian accent. She's Norwegian too.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. God, I'm a shit Norwegian. Okay. Ron wants to know, Ivy, if you also make men's clothing, like not Liberace, like just men's clothing.
I make a lot of my own clothes. I made this.
Really?
I don't do suits. Yeah, I don't do suits, but I make, sweaters, and I've made like 6 or 7 pairs of pants, but vests, shirts. I made a couple jackets, but nothing too major.
So mostly it's girl stuff.
Mostly, yeah. Yeah. And a lot of the stuff I wear is somewhat feminine anyways. Feminine circusy.
Oh,
Somebody asked
you're
if you
so
were
sweet.
somebody asked if you were making earrings, if you make like the earrings that you had on the show.
I made a couple of them. My roommate makes a lot of jewelry and headbands and pieces. And I always end up wearing a lot of her jewelry, so.
Well,
but yeah,
I will have
she
to
makes all
get
these
to know
kooky,
your
crazy little.
roommate.
Yes, definitely.
And what's her name so people can know?
Amy Lang.
I love it.
Fantastic.
Amy Lang.
All right,
Get Come here.
Amy's gonna.
Amy Ling,
She doesn't have a bra.
bring some of. Oh, that's all right. We've got lesbians on here, honey.
Oh my God,
Bring your
Michelle, you and Amy will
Bring
get
your-
right along.
Okay, my arms crossed.
bring your
Amy.
Where are
wanna
your
see your
wares?
jewelry.
We need to
Okay.
see your wares.
I'll do
Oh my God, Michelle, you and Amy have to be BFFs. You guys would get along. Oh my God.
I love that.
you
I
would.
love
I know you
seeing
would.
that.
They really would. They're.
She's nuts.
I'll have to meet her when I come to New York City.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
great.
That's gonna be such a fun show.
It's fantastic. Let's while Amy Ling goes to get her wares, we've got somebody else popping on here. Somebody I love very, very much.
Oh my God.
Hi, John.
I love you back.
I miss
How are you?
How are you?
I miss you too. So first, I want to know: did a designer send you those earrings, Michelle? Because they're working.
Wait, I'll fix
We
it.
gotta take our voice down because you're.
Maybe I need to
I'm
turn-
gonna
Right,
lower it.
but-
Let's try now.
Thank you, Mimi. You're just completely
I'm sorry.
distorted. I
Can
don't
you
like
hear me
my.
now?
Yes, that's better. These earrings are very designer. I think they're Forever 21 for $3.80.
Ooh.
Look at my gray hair. Don't spook. But we've got a show at the end of the month in like a week and a half, so I'm not coloring it just to color it again in a week. I've been gray since I'm 19,
Smart.
which is a treat. So, true story, when I was coloring my hair, when I used to bleach it back in Seduction, my girlfriend, my neighbor used to do my hair because she's a hairdresser. And I go, oh my God, my hair's growing in blonde because I bleached it so much. And she's like, that's not blonde. And I was 19. So, and I started back then.
Oh no.
I'm not kidding. And I have I'm adopted, so I didn't know who my parents were at the time. And when I met them, they had both been prematurely. My mother's white and my father's white, and they have been since they're 23 years old, something like that. So
Oh my God.
whatever, spook my gray and what? Okay, moving along.
Nobody
John-
spooked your gray until you brought it up.
Because I turned my head and I was like, oh. So
I
John,
have a question. You want
Yes.
a question?
go ahead.
So Ivy, you made a decision to stay in one place during your lip sync, and you talked about it in the interview. Do you think that played the same way in the room as it did on TV?
What?
You're asking why I stayed in one spot and if it played
Like, would you
the way I wanted it to?
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
when you watched it back on TV.
Yeah. Well, when I watched it on TV, I do wish I moved around a little bit more. But in that moment, the judges are right in front of me, and I was lip syncing to them, and I just wanted them to see my lip sync and my facial expressions. I didn't want to be pouncing around the stage. I think like that song, for me, it wasn't more of like a moving all over the place type of song, and that was kind of my style of performance.
Why?
Mimi, you made a kind of famous decision in your lip sync for your life too. What do you think? Both of you talk about how you make those choices. Like, what's going through your head?
Well, everything's going through your head.
Are you talking about when she picked India up? What made her do that?
Well, that's a good. That was for me. That Mimi made a kind of controversial decision in her lip sync too.
Oh, I was just.
So yeah.
I've said this before. I was just bored and I wanted to do something entertaining to shake it up. So I thought it's so absurd for a man in a dress to do that to another man in a dress. And I was like, didn't Tyra already go off the runway? So I was like, get back on stage. I mean, I've discussed it 100 times, but I don't know.
Ivy, how much time do you have to plan that stuff?
What do you
How
mean
much-
plan?
There's no planning. It was just
Like, is it like?
There's- no. Yeah, there's no planning. It's so last minute.
Yeah, they just
It's
do
right
it.
away. You they just do it.
They just
Yeah.
do it
It's for the moment.
when they find out they're in the bottom two and that they're lip syncing. That's it, done. So they know what song they're doing beforehand. They're there and they just have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's no planning. It's like your head starts going, what am I going to do? You know?
Yeah,
Right.
it happens so quick, and it's like it literally like your gut falls out of your entire body, just like it feels like this gigantic weight's on your shoulders when it happens, and it's
Yeah.
it's kind of like all bets are off.
Stressful.
It's a very out of body experience.
Yeah.
How long do you have to learn the words? Is it like a day for the song?
Well, I mean, the time that we have in our hotel, which is very minimal, at night, like when you get into your hotel, you just want to sleep because you've had such a long day, but that's
Yeah.
your time to really listen to the words. And for me, I mean, I take like a month to rehearse and prepare words to a song and like figure
You
out
don't
how I'm
get
gonna
no time.
move and dance.
Right.
You don't get any time. I mean,
No.
you get your little iPod of music and you're like, I gotta learn all these songs. You don't know what's coming next, and you don't know if you're gonna be in the bottom one challenge or the next. So it's very last minute. It's very stressful.
Yeah, and let's talk for a minute about this doesn't have because we didn't have last week because it was a double save, but
Mhm.
we didn't even talk about the Roxy wig reveal, which to me was like
Um,
life altering.
Amazing.
Oh
When
my
she did that, I
God.
about shit my pants. I was like,
Did you all know? Did you know what she was doing since you were getting ready in the workroom? I mean, did you see her putting a wig on top of a wig, or were you just not paying attention because you were
no,
getting yourself ready?
I wasn't paying attention. I was getting myself ready. I didn't see what she was doing. I'm sure she just kind of expected or thought that she was going to be in the bottom two, so she was just preparing for that. But I didn't see her do it.
She needed to
Genius, though.
prepare that because she was really bad. So she needed. I think
Mm.
she knew she was going to be in the bottom two, and the fact that the song is "I whip my hair back and forth," and she did. I will never. That's a moment that I will never, ever, ever forget as long as I live. That gave me
Yeah.
lifeblood. That was just like
Yeah.
unbelievable. It was.
Standing in the background, it just gave me chills. It was amazing.
I know, and there was a million gifs. There's gifs of Rue and I just freaking out. Hilarious. So hilarious. So John Mallow, since we don't get to see Drag You Later with John and John anymore, boo. Are you enjoying this season as much as last season?
Yeah, I like this season a lot, and I'm watching it, like on Monday nights when it airs, which is sort of a little different from past seasons. But I think there's a lot of great people. Ivy, I loved you on the show.
Thank
I
you.
think Jinx, I like the kind of storyline that Jinx is developing.
Uh-huh.
Like it's sort of interesting to see her kind of coming into her own. Um, I'm liking this a lot. I've gone up and down with my feelings about Alyssa, which is what I want. I want you want to kind of really like a moment and then not be sure and then be over one person one week, and that's what I've been doing this season. So it's great.
Yeah, it's definitely on the edge of your seats. It's definitely different than any other seasons too. But you guys, I like that this season is different. I like that we're switching it up because I don't want anybody to get bored with our fabulous show and what we're able to do for the entire world of the LGBT community and drag queen community. The longer we're on the air, the more that we're able to break down barriers. So, I mean, this is good that we're changing stuff up and keeping people on their toes. I think it's a good thing, It's definitely good for the community.
It's fun to
And John, we love you.
Yeah.
We want to say goodbye because we have to put other people
I love
on.
you too.
I love you. I'll text you and I'll talk to you soon because we have to talk about
Bye.
Showgirls. So we'll talk later. Love you.
Yeah, if you come here,
Yeah.
I love you.
Yes, we'll see it. We'll talk. I love you. We'll talk to you soon. Ford says, why do you
Bye.
think Ivy was chosen over Coco to be in the bottom two? Because Ivy's commercial was worse. I mean, do you need to ask that? I mean, I think even Ivy should say that. Coco's
That was
was not
Tokyo.
great.
I was so fast. I was just like, oh, this looks like a big city. It looks like it's New York City. No, it wasn't.
Oh my God.
Embarrassing.
That made me laugh so hard when I saw that. I was like, yeah, that's Tokyo.
Oh my God.
That's Tokyo. That's hilarious.
I'm just glad that they didn't. I'm just glad they didn't put Aubrey saying I look constipated on national television.
No, thank God. There's a lot more that Aubrey said that they saved her with. Trust me, they saved her.
Yeah.
Hi, Mama. How are you?
Hi, good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You have a microphone.
Okay, just making sure. Shut up. I just have a question for Ivy about her costumes because they're crazy gorgeous, and I just want to know which one was her favorite, either of her own or some one that she's made for somebody else because I love them.
And then after Placente's paper and custody.
Oh, thank you, thank you. On the show, my favorite was my Victor Victoria Legetta, the fringe costume. I think that's a costume that I've spent the most time on. And then as far as other people, I made a Cher costume for my friend Jesse Volt, and it has like this giant mohawk of feathers. The like, Bang Bang farewell. Yeah.
It's really
those are
fun.
my two favorite costumes.
I'm going to have to get Ivy to make me some shit for season 6 for sure. Thanks, Samantha.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye,
Mama.
Guys, bye.
So cute. She's so cute. Love you too, baby. I have to tell you, my favorite, besides that Victor Victoria masterpiece, was the one that you did with all the cassette tape from the
cassette
kid show.
tape? Yeah.
Oh, that dress was gorgeous. You looked so stunning in that. Really, really beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
But what inspires you?
I wish I could have worn it on the runway.
Oh God, it moved so beautifully. I wish you could have too. Do you get inspired by, like, how do your ideas come to you when you're creating?
I get inspired by, everything, toys. I love weird materials and like the cassette tape. I've done one cassette tape dress before in the past. It was like a mini version of that. I don't know. I don't know how I thought about it. I think it was I was thinking about making lace front wigs, and it was the same technique by kind of like latch hooking all the cassette tape. And I don't know where I come up with this shit. It just pops in my head.
How long that took. Like, do you have any aspirations of doing Project Runway? Because I think you'd be amazing. Or do you not care about doing full collections?
Not really. I mean, I'd love to do I'm more of a costume designer than an actual everyday clothing designer. Costumes to me are just more fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to do a line of costumes. Yeah.
You'd get flack for being too costumey.
But you need to hook up with Chris March is who you need to hook up with because
love Chris March.
I see him floating around, every other day in the fashion district. I'm like, I love you, Chris March, and he's like, oh, thanks.
You need to hook up because the stuff I've seen you make. I mean, the Metro card dress that I've seen you do, like all this crazy stuff that you do all the time. It's like you're just so talented.
So talented.
Thank you.
While we're putting the next person on, Patrick asked if we think Alyssa rests on pretty. Yes, and she should, because she's freaking gorgeous. But at the same time, she's trying to go out of her box. She did when she played Uncle Dick the crossdresser. I think she's really trying to go out of the box for her. But yes, she rests on pretty, and she sure as hell should rest on pretty. She's a stunner. But go ahead, Ivy.
Yeah. She makes me laugh. Whenever she gets nervous, she does she starts giggling. Oh my, I can't.
She's very funny. She's very, very funny. Hi, Billy.
Hi, you guys. How are you?
Hi, Billy.
How are you?
Good.
Good. So my question's for Ivy. If you were in the top 3, who would the other 2 you want to be with?
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh, that is a good one. I would say Jinx and Detox.
Oh, okay.
Just because I've kind of had like a growing relationship with both of them. I'd say I'm the closest to those two. I think it'd just be a fun ride.
Oh, that's cool. And I got one more question, if I can, for Michelle.
Go ahead, baby.
Was there Was there any elimination in past seasons that you just did not agree on?
Yes.
Ivy.
You're like, I can't say.
Ivy Winter.
Yeah.
Good answer.
The last one, and then I'm done. And then I'm done after this one.
Rue and I
What?
we really do see eye to eye on most everything. But I have a problem with something coming up this season. Yeah, we'll talk about that when it happens. Yeah. So go ahead, Billy. You had one more?
So last one. Every season, and I'm not like I'm hitting on you, but I'm not. Every season, there's one hot guy out of drag. Ivy, all the blogs are saying you're the hot guy out of drag this season. How do you feel about that?
Oh, that's a nice compliment. It make me blush. It's a lovely compliment. It's nice.
Oh, you're blushing.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, but it's true. It's true, Ivy.
If you read all the blogs, it's like
Yes.
Ivy's the hot one. Ivy's the hot one. It's like, damn, those other girls are probably like.
No, they love Ivy. It's right from the beginning. They were like, "Damn, Ivy, 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 Ivy," right
They
away.
really are.
Yeah. for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, thank you guys so
Thank you.
much.
Bye, Billy.
Billy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love you guys. You guys are the cutest. I mean, I think that's an honor to be
Yeah.
the hottest guy out of drag, you know. But they went like I didn't even see it. I didn't see that. I think you're adorable, but I did not see it coming at the like rate that it was like people went crazy for you. I love that.
I know. Yeah.
Hethwin wants to know what the single most important thing you learned from Drag Race.
Suck up to Michelle. No.
It doesn't work. I don't like to suck up.
I don't suck up. Just be prepared for anything, really. You have to be able to do everything to make it far in the competition. So I kind of knew that going into it, but you know, that just kind of reinforced that being on the show.
Is there anything?
Oh, Damon's back. Hi,
Is there anything you would have done differently?
No. I think I did everything the way I wanted to.
Jeff said, if I don't like a suck up, why is Coco still there? Coco ain't sucking up to me. I will call people out in a heartbeat for sucking up.
Good
Sucking
Lord.
up is just, and it's sucking up is like excuses. And how many times I've called people out on excuses and say, look, la, 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 la. Just do it.
Yeah, it's
You know what I
gross.
mean? And I do not decide who stays or goes. It is not my show. And I will completely say, you know, and again, I say this every show because you guys have to remember, I don't see anything that goes on behind the scenes in the workroom, nothing except the runway.
Yeah.
So whatever brought out to the main stage, that is all I see. I don't know how personalities are. I don't know who's whining. I don't know who's annoying. I can take a guess from the main stage, but I don't know anything. So
yeah,
it's difficult. It is a competition. And I'm watching it at the same time you guys are. I'm not a week ahead. You know, I'm right where you guys are. So when I watch it and I tweet live, and somebody just said, am I ever surprised when I see the queens out of drag? Yeah, because I have no idea. I don't get to see them out of drag at all. And it's funny because sometimes I can't figure out who's who until, you know, like, you got to get used to them.
I know, that was like, in the beginning I kept getting everyone's names wrong because you're not sitting there like, all right, Jinx, all right, what was your name again? You don't want to be asking everyone who's who. And I mean, we run the film, everything so close. So when I kept getting everyone's names wrong, it made me looks like such a ditz. Soraya.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Cam said, am I happy that Relaska Talks is over? I am. I've had a problem with that from day one. I told you guys that. I don't like that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't mind people
Yeah.
becoming friends, becoming close, and going off and doing their thing because that's what they feel comfortable with. But when you start naming it and leaving people out, it gets ugly. And there's been a lot more kind of, I don't like the word bullying because bullying's a really strong word, but there's been a lot more of uh, side taking and picking on, which I guess is bullying. But this
Yeah.
season than there's
No,
been in a long time.
there's definitely been it. I definitely think it comes
Yeah.
across as bullying a little bit. So whether it's one on one or a couple people against one, I definitely think there's been moments of bullying.
Yeah,
And I
and
Yeah.
and it's
It
gonna
was it
happen.
was hard.
But
It was hard. It was
that
hard being in like the gold or silver lounge and like having everyone kind of gang up on certain queens. Just being there was just ugh. It was just really uncomfortable. Witnessing that. Like, come
you
on,
know,
why act like that? You know?
yeah.
and if you do it, you're doing it at your own detriment because America sees it, and I think people know when it's bullying, and I think that it reads as
Yeah, but
bullying.
that's,
Yeah.
but I don't, look, that word is too strong to be used in this context. Let's be honest. This is just,
No,
this is
there's
not bullying. This is picking on and being shady queens and going back and forth and voicing opinions. That is so much different than real true bullying. And let's not get that word completely blown out
I
of
think
proportion
I
here.
think
this
there's been
was
moments.
more like being in high school and you have like the catty bitchy girls ganging up. It was
Yes,
very high
yes,
school. It's like, come on, grow
yeah.
up. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
ganging up on, yes, is true. And it was ugly, and I didn't like it. But this is what happens when you put any. Look, I was in a girl group. It's not just queens. Put queens together in a room.
Mm.
This stuff is very real, and it happens, which is why a group like Rolaska Talks kind of fires that. It fuels that. It keeps it going. So people aren't on their own, and people automatically feel left out. And somebody's always going to be that last one picked for dodgeball. And you can't avoid that because, look, we can't shelter ourselves completely. But why create it
Right.
if you don't have to? So,
Hmm.
whatever. It is what it is. But last night I felt really bad for Jinx. And I'm glad Detox, I'm talking about Untucked. I'm glad Detox said something,
Yeah.
to Coco about,
Yeah.
I think Coco's she's like at the end. She's kind of being the villain this season, and it's kind of like she's freaking out at this point, I think, because she keeps being not
Yeah.
where she wants to be. So,
Right.
I think that's what's happening. So people are asking me a lot. People are asking me here, what about, Coco's being mean? What do you think about Coco? Coco needs to go. Coco this, Coco that. But yes, John just said it perfectly when he said this earlier. Coco went off because I think, like when you panic before you go underwater, before you drown, it's that last minute panic. That's kind of what I
Hmm.
feel
Yeah.
Coco's doing. Like she's
It just
freaking
doesn't look good
out.
over. It just doesn't look good overall. I mean,
No.
I just think that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing redeeming about sort of being bitchy on air or ripping people apart or being super defensive. And she's way too talented and beautiful. I mean, she should be
She
taking
is.
the higher road.
Yeah.
She has that option,
Hmm.
because she truly is talented, and she's acting like somebody who's not.
And it's true. And somebody just said, I think our friend Mads in Paris said, but she's not apologizing. Coco's just backtracking and blaming it on editing. You can't blame it on editing. You say what you say.
No.
Nobody's going to make you say what you say. You can blame it kind of like if they don't put the
Editing
whole
doesn't
thing
force
in.
words in your mouth.
Right, but you still say it. I mean, you still say it. But,
Yeah.
it's a difficult thing. And you could tell Coco's human because when they showed the husband last night,
Hmm.
she cracked a
Yeah.
little bit.
I know.
But
But
Right.
usually the
I s-
people that, I mean, this is so cliched, but usually the ones that are the most sort of aggressive or vicious are usually the softest sort of on the inside, and it's obviously a massive, defense mechanism that's sort of been built over years. But you saw it when the husband came on, how soft she really is and how
Mhm.
touching that really was for her. And especially talking about, I mean, when she's talking about her father and her mother, you can see that she's had to build this sort of wall, you know, because she's gone through a lot. So
Yeah, it happens a lot. Renee said, why does Coco use orange powder? Is that an old school thing? Look, for the Sisters of Color, it is kind of an old school thing,
She
but
wasn't
even
using
more
Tang.
so, no, she was not using Tang. Even more so, it's a Vegas-y thing,
for the
and
dishes.
they get stuck in that kind of stage makeup. Latrice does it too with her banana powder, and it's like if somebody painted them once that kind of is amazing, like a Billy B or a Sam Fine or somebody like that, they would be amazed at what they look like. Because Coco paints orange, and she paints for the back row in friggin' the O2 arena. Like,
Mhm.
she paints for Ray Charles. So it's partly old school and partly
Ray
because she's
Charles finally got sight with Coco's makeup.
it totally, and that's the thing. So yes, it's old school, but sometimes like Alyssa or somebody's been calling her on it the whole show, and she's not going to change it. That's the way she does it until she sees it,
Yeah.
and somebody does it for her and says, "Look, girl, this is this. This needs to change." She's not going to change. It's going to be what it is.
I did love that. I mean, I know that her commercial for the perfume wasn't the best, but I did love that wig that she had on. I mean,
Which
that was
one?
amazing. That hair.
It was
Coco.
like the dready
The
Coco's
BB
wig.
Sahara
That
Benet
was
wig.
Oh, for the commercial.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
the commercial. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah. No, I like that.
It was
But
her.
it's-
It was
Spoon.
It totally was. But I want to thank you all for joining us. And Ivy, the show is not the same without you, my dear. You are pure love and so sweet and beyond talented. And I just can't wait. I know I'll be doing shows with you and be running into you all over the place. But I mean, this is it, baby.
Yes.
Your life is just
I
begun
know.
now in this kind of.
And you came off wonderful on TV, which is,
Thank
an
you.
impressive feat. So
I had so much
And you
fun. It was like,
will
thank you.
Yeah, you won't be hurting for work and you won't be hurting for dates. You don't even need Grinder, boo.
I've never been on Grindr. Thank you.
And I am looking forward to that. And yeah, Robbie, where'd your roommate go? Robbie, I agree. We never saw the jewelry. The hell is she making it
Oh
now?
my gosh. I've got Amy, get in. Look at this.
Oh
It's a
my!
car.
Is that a Pandora thing? Didn't Pandora wear a car?
Drag you.
Oh, I don't know.
What?
I don't know if Pandora wore a car. Yay, she's
I don't
back.
know. Hi. I put on one of
she's an
Ivy's
outfit
shirts
change,
that she
too.
made.
For the
Aw.
80s, for the 80s singing challenge, I was gonna wear these Rubik's Cube earrings, and they actually worked.
Oh my
But
God,
copyright
I
issue.
love it!
Yeah, but they wouldn't let me wear them. I did wear Barbie head earrings though. I did wear Barbie head earrings. They're like little
Oh my
severed heads.
God.
And then after we
Yes.
had all these empty cassette tapes
These
from
are
the dress.
All the empty
we made
cassette
earrings.
tapes. We have many empty cassette tapes from that dress.
There's a pregnancy test earring. Headband made out of sequin covered condoms.
Yes.
What else do we have?
We have fun
I have a
here.
slinky headband that moves when you walk.
we just go to Party City and just tons of stuff.
You just buy
You
out
don't
all
even
the
need
chattering
to.
teeth and glue them onto your head.
You can go to the dollar store.
I want that chattering teeth. It's too much.
Oh my God.
Oh.
That's so fantastic.
Some of them are more interactive, like the earring shoots people.
Do you have
Oh.
And
Do you have a
then
website?
I have,
Do I have what?
does she have a website?
Not yet.
Not yet. No, she does not. But
You're gonna need
it'll be
one
something
now.
working in the progress.
Get that website.
Yeah.
I know people have been asking. Yeah.
So this-
What's on
yeah.
your head now?
She's got some good stuff.
I think it's a mini bottle of Jack covered in sequins, but you can use your Absolute bottles too.
Oh, that's a good girl. Fantastic.
This is this is DQVC. Drag queen.
Sometimes I make pretty things, but usually they're silly.
DQVC. Oh, that's good stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it.
Well, I'll upload some photos of all of our stuff. Yeah, because I always end up wearing it.
Yeah,
so.
you need to do that.
Yeah,
I love it.
Sealed it.
Thank you for sharing, babe.
Sure, thanks, guys.
Bye. Thanks, Mimi. That's
Bye.
gorgeous.
Oh my god.
All right, you guys. So we're over our limit here, and I just want to thank you all for joining us again. Next week we'll be back with another eliminated queen. Monday nights, 9 p.m. RuPaul's Drag Race, followed by Untucked, of course. Mimi, thank you. Damon, Vicky, and Lysander. We wrapped up the season, but we can still watch it on logotv.com. Ivy Winters, love you. See you at the reunion, and
I love
everybody
you guys.
else. Love you so much. See you guys later. Mwah.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. I'll see you soon, Michelle.